Great. Thank you so much for doing this today. What is your full name?
My full name is Jessica Roffi, and my son Benjamin is in the preschool at Elizabeth Peabody House.
Excellent. And where and when were you born?
So I was born in Melrose, Massachusetts, raised in Somerville, and I was born May 8th, 1981. Turned the big 40 this year.
Oh, great. Congrats. Where do your ancestors come from?
So my mom grew up on a farm in rural Maine, and that's the best we have. She grew up in a really large family, and they were, as far back as she can remember, all farmers in Maine. My dad's family, all of my great grandparents on my dad's side immigrated from Italy, and they all immigrated to um, the Boston area. My grandfather's family settled in East Cambridge. My nana was from Somerville. And she grew up in the house that my dad grew up in and that I grew up in Somerville. So we are long-term residents of Somerville. And we don't stray too far from home.
Yeah, great. What has been your involvement in the Elizabeth Peabody House?
So my son, he is 6 now. He started at the preschool in the purple room when just after he turned 3. And he's loved it. We've had such a good experience there. The teachers are great. Sherry is great. And he had a bit of a rough start to life. I adopted him from foster care. And so he was placed with me just before his 3rd birthday. And, in touring preschools and trying to find a place for him that had space that was going to really be able to embrace him and his needs, with having a bunch of foster placements before coming to me and really having a lot of upheaval in his life. We really looked for a place that was going to celebrate him. And that's what Elizabeth Peabody does. Like Sherry, I remember meeting her for the first time and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Like this kid, just kind of plopped into my house. Like I'd met him twice before he moved in with me. And it was daunting. And Sherry got it, I think, in a way that most people don't. Like you have a baby and there's a lot of time that the baby's not going to remember. And there's a lot of time that the baby sleeps. And I just had this 3-year-old who was active and running and jumping and climbing and you're trying to get to know this fully formed human. And she was just we're meeting him where he's at. We're holding his hand and we're coddling him a little bit because he knows that he needs to know that he belongs here and that this is the place for him. And all of these people love him. And so going to kindergarten, while I know he is ready, I don't know that I am ready for him to leave preschool at EPH, but he is going to be in the after school program in the fall. So we're not going far, just upstairs.
Great. And how did your experience with EPH help shape your or your family's lives?
Um, I I would not be the parent I am without EPH. Like hands down, anytime there has been any question about, childhood development, about, where he's at socially, where he's at academically, where he's at behaviorally, where things I should keep an eye out for, like Sherry is always there, Melanie is always there, Adriana is always there. I mean, I call on these people as experts in their field. They're experts on kids. They've seen so many kids come through the program. And like I said, I got thrown into parenthood and I love every second of it. It's the most fun and rewarding thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. But it's work, and you know like I call Sherry and I'm just like, Benjamin did this, like, and she's just like, oh, it's totally normal. Like, that's fine. Like, I see, like, all kids do this. And I'm like, oh, okay. um, and, I have such a good, warm, familial relationship with the teachers and the administration there, and then the other parents, like just everybody there has the same child raising philosophy, and they want to raise good kids, and they want to raise happy kids, and they want to raise well-adjusted kids and inclusive kids, and the community that we have found with Elizabeth Peabody has, like, I couldn't replicate it if I tried, and I had all the money in the world. Like, I couldn't. It's this beautiful it's this beautiful place where everybody is warm and loving and helpful and always willing to meet up at the park, and always willing to bounce ideas off each other, and always willing to say, hey, my kid's doing this thing, like, is this something I should worry about, is this not, or I need a break from my kid, like, can you give me an hour, and nobody has ever said no. And you know that makes parenting in this community, just, it's an invaluable resource. And I wouldn't be as confident as a parent without EPH, and I wouldn't be as patient of a parent if it wasn't for EPH, and I would be a lot more worried as a parent without EPH, because like, it is a touchstone, and it is a place that I turn to, that my son turns to, all the time to get our bearings, and we love it. Like, it's the best place in the world.
I agree. Yes. Thank you so much, Jessica. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
um Really, Elizabeth Peabody has been just this, like, astounding, amazing place for us and for my son, and I couldn't do this without them. And I joke with Sherry all the time. I joke with Melanie all the time. They're like, they can't get rid of us. Like, we're lifers now, and that's, like, the best feeling. And it's also amazing that both Sherry and Melanie and Kretcha, all of them will go like that's what happens. Like their old hat at this, because
Right.
everybody is a lifer, and there isn't a place that there isn't a community that I would rather be a part of. It's been so wonderful to get to know the administrators and the staff and the other parents and the other kids, and we're so lucky to be part of it. And I'm so happy to be hitting this 125th anniversary milestone too with you guys.
Yes, we are too. Thank you so much, Jessica, for your time. And we hope you have a
Anytime.
wonderful rest of your day. And take
Thank you, you
care.
too.
We'll be in touch.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.